I'm eating a lot of protein and vegetables and walking. That's what I'm doing. We're approaching the 200-pound mark.
Once known for his struggles and a past full of tough battles, Jelly Roll now stands as a man of complete change. His looks, his energy, and the way he acts have left fans around the world amazed. The shift is not just on the outside, it has changed the whole story of his life. Now, every move he makes shows power built from hard times. Join us as we look into the surprising rebirth story of Jelly Roll that no one saw coming. Jelly Roll was born Jason Bradley DeFord in Nashville, Tennessee, on December 4, 1984. He grew up in a tough area on the southeast side of the city called Antioch. Life there was often hard, but it taught him lessons that helped shape who he is today. His dad, Horace Buddy DeFord, worked long hours running a wholesale meat business. But he also had a side job as a bookie, which meant he took bets on sports and other things to make extra cash. This showed Jelly Roll early on that life sometimes needs extra ways to get by. Jelly Roll had 3 older half-siblings, 2 brothers named Roger and Scott, and a sister named Shelby. They were part of his world as he found his own way. His mom, whose name has never been shared in public, faced her own big problems. She dealt with addiction to drugs and issues with her mental health. These troubles often affected the home and made things unstable for everyone. Even with all that, she gave her son a nickname that stayed with him. Since he was a chubby kid, she called him Jelly Roll. Later, as he got into music, he said he liked being called just Jelly. It felt more personal, like he was making it his own. Even though his mom had many hard days, she was the one who first got him interested in music. She loved playing songs by country stars like George Strait and Garth Brooks. Jelly Roll would sit with her and listen. He soaked up the feelings in those tunes, the sadness, the joy, and the stories they told. From her, he learned to love country music and how to share stories that touch people's hearts. This spark pushed him to start writing his own songs. He wanted to create something that could make others feel the way those songs made his mom feel. By the time he was 9 or 10, Jelly Roll had written his first rap song. It was simple, but it came from his heart. He dreamed of making music that pulled out emotions in listeners. As he got older, he dove deeper into it. In 8th grade, he started making mixtapes, collections of his raps on CDs or tapes. He handed them out in high school parking lots, hoping someone would listen and like what they heard. He was determined to share his voice with the world, even if it meant starting small. Then, when he was just 13, his parents divorced. That split hit him hard. Suddenly, his dad was not at home anymore. Jelly Roll felt like he had to step up and help his mom. He thought it was his job to bring in money, so he started selling drugs on the streets. It was a risky choice, but he saw it as a way to support his family. While doing that, he still pushed his music. He would slip his mixtapes into the bags when people bought from him. It was his sneaky way to spread his songs to new ears, even in dark places. Through all this, Jelly Roll kept a close bond with his dad. Buddy taught him important things that stuck. He showed him why it's wrong to be racist and how to act like a strong, respectful man. These lessons became like guides for Jelly Roll as he grew up. When Buddy died from cancer in March 2019, it hurt deeply, but the values he passed on kept helping his son move forward. Jelly Roll's early life was full of tough spots. From his mom's struggles to his dad's advice, from writing his first rap at 10 to giving out mixtapes in parking lots, it all built the base for the artist he became. He took on big responsibilities young, and music was the thing that always pulled him ahead. But getting to fame was never easy. He had to face more challenges that tested him. Jelly Roll started getting in trouble with the law as a teen. At 14, he got arrested for the first time. That was the start of many run-ins with police. Over the years, he ended up in jail about 40 times for different crimes. He went in and out of cells, caught in a cycle that his lifestyle kept feeding. Each arrest pulled him away from a normal life. He had to deal with punishments that affected his future. One of the worst times came at 16. He was charged with aggravated robbery, a serious crime in Tennessee. Even though he was still a kid, the court treated him like an adult. He had not even finished growing, but they put him in the same group as older criminals. He could have gotten 20 years in prison. In the end, he served over a year behind bars and then got probation for more than 7 years. The punishment stuck with him long after he left jail. Tennessee has strict rules for violent crimes. His record could not be erased. Because of that, he lost basic rights. He could not vote in elections. He could not volunteer at many places. He could not own a gun legally. These limits made life harder and reminded him of his past every day. Around the same time, Jelly Roll was fighting personal battles too. He sold drugs and used them himself. Hard drugs became part of his daily life, making it tougher to break free. His addiction led to more risks, but later, it helped him understand others' struggles. He used that knowledge to support people in recovery. As he started to turn things around, he visited rehab centers. He talked to people there about getting clean. He showed them that someone with a messy past could still change. But at 23, life hit another low. He went back to prison for dealing drugs. On May 22, 2008, while in prison, a guard told him big news. He had become a dad. His daughter, Bailey, was born. That moment woke him up. He felt the heavy weight of being a father. He knew he could not keep going down the same bad path. Soon after, they moved him to the prison's education area. There, he worked on himself and got his GED, a high school diploma equivalent. For a guy who had been in trouble so much, this was a fresh start. When he got out in 2009, he felt free and ready to build a better life. Years later, his past came up again in a good way. The Tennessee Board of Parole looked at his case in a long meeting in Nashville. They heard about his crimes, his changes, and how he helped others. They voted to suggest a pardon. It went to the governor for the final say. For Jelly Roll, this was huge. It felt like people saw his hard work. He always said prison made him rethink everything. It pushed him deeper into music. Music let him share his pain and connect with others in similar spots. He started talking to inmates and kids in juvenile centers. He told them to try therapy, music, and grab second chances. The pardon was practical too. His record made traveling abroad hard. To tour outside the U.S., he needed lots of papers and lawyers. Sometimes, whole teams worked just to get him into a country. A pardon would make that easier, letting him share his music and message worldwide. Jelly Roll's story proves you can fall deep and still climb out. He uses his past to guide others away from mistakes. He carries old weights, but also a strong will to show change is real. Every step now is on a new path, shaped by music, faith, and redemption. But that was not his only fight. Jelly Roll's life has always had battles, and one of the biggest was with his body. For years he dealt with addiction, childhood hurt, and extra weight. At his heaviest, he weighed 540 pounds. It affected how he lived, performed, and saw himself. Food was more than eating for him. It was comfort and escape. It was another addiction from his young days. By 2015, he was over 500 pounds. Doctors said their scales could not handle him. They told him to use one at a truck stop or meat plant. That embarrassed him deeply and stuck in his mind. His nickname, Jelly Roll, came from being chubby as a kid. As an adult, it was not funny anymore. It reminded him of his burdens. But in music, his size did not stop him. People said he was too big or his voice was wrong for the industry. He ignored them and succeeded anyway. Inside, he felt bad. For years, he hid the pain. He tried to feel valuable by dating pretty women, thinking it would make people see past his size. But the hurt stayed. Then, in 2016, he hit a turning point. He decided to lose weight and fight back against what haunted him. He changed how he ate and lived. He lost 200 pounds. It made him feel strong and full of life. But the path was bumpy. Touring meant late nights, travel, and temptations. He gained 60 pounds back. Frustration hit, but he got up a gain. He knew stumbling was part of it. He used his fame to stay on track. In 2018, he shared online about his misery with his weight. He listed things he wanted to do, like normal stuff others enjoy, but his size blocked them. He wanted a new life and better bond with food. The next years had highs and lows. He exercised, meditated, and ate healthier. In February 2023, he told fans he was focused on weight loss, music, and being his best on stage. It was about health, living longer, and inspiring others with their own fights. By early 2024, changes showed. He trained for a 5K race in January. At first, 1 mile walking tired him out. But he kept going. He walked, jogged, ran, 2 to 3 miles, 4 to 6 days a week. By April, he lost over 70 pounds. In May, he finished his first race. It was emotional. Months before, 1 mile was hard. Now, over 3 miles done. Victory fueled him. It was about goals, not just weight. He planned a half marathon next. Fans were shocked. At the Academy of Country Music Awards in May 2024, he looked slimmer and more alive. The guy who was 540 pounds now moved with new confidence. Progress continued. By April 2025, he weighed 357 pounds, almost 200 pounds gone. He aimed for another 100. His dream, skydiving with his wife in Sweden at that goal. He also wanted men's health cover by next year. It showed his commitment. He stayed honest about the battle. He drank water, worked out, used cold plunges, watched food. Late nights were toughest with cravings. He called himself a food addict, like his past with drugs and alcohol. He set strict rules. His food issues tied to emotions, mental health, trauma. People think obesity is just overeating or laziness. For him, it was deeper, coping with pain. To change, he reshaped thoughts and surroundings. No snacks in his green room, no temptations. Shame sometimes spiraled him down. Those were hard, but he had support. Small lessons helped. He felt stronger, lighter, hopeful. Progress was in life too. More stage energy, easier travel. Body and spirit changed. Jelly Roll shows health is not straight. It has struggles, setbacks, doubts, but also wins, breakthroughs, joy. He lifted heavy burdens with persistence. His fight goes on, but he pushes daily for the dreamed life. None of this without key help. In 2015, after a show at the Country Saloon in Las Vegas, Jelly Roll met model Bunny So. It was quick, but memorable. Bunny was with someone else, but they kept talking. Messages and calls grew into love. They started dating. A year later, on August 31, 2016, he proposed at a Yellow Wolf and Deftones concert in Las Vegas. That night, they married at a nearby courthouse. It was sudden, but real. Early marriage was rocky. In 2018, they broke up briefly, but on a Colorado trip, they reconnected stronger. By 2019, Bunny started her Dumb Blonde podcast, Finding Her Voice. She joined Jelly Roll's family, helping with kids and fixing old ties. Before Bunny, Jelly Roll had 2 children. Daughter Bailey Ann, born May 2008, while he was in prison. He learned from a guard. Met her on her 2nd birthday in 2010. Her mom, Felicia Beckwith, wanted proof of consistency. He proved it step by step, with court visits. Started with Friday hours. Over time, more. Music was not his focus then, just being a dad. When Felicia faced addiction in jail, Jelly Roll got custody. Bunny helped as stepmom. They stayed friendly. Bunny had Felicia on her podcast in 2020, showing teamwork for Bailey. Bailey, now teen, does music. Singer, songwriter. In Tears Could Talk video with Dad, performed live too. Son Noah, born August 2016, near wedding. Details private. Mom, Melissa Ann Cowell, raises him. Jelly Roll supports from afar. In 2023, he shared differences in roles. Bunny showed Noah on TikTok, warm family. As marriage grew, they wanted kids together. June 2024, shared IVF plans. By March 2025, Bunny started treatment, showed relationship strength. Home changed too. November 2023, new big Nashville house. Bunny shared Reno's online. They made it their own, built marriage and family stronger. Career kept growing. From 2010 to 2015, Jelly Roll lived in a van chasing music. Fresh from prison, little money, big drive. He uploaded a freestyle rap on YouTube about streets, drugs, jail. It spread, caught Lil White's eye. White signed him for label. With BPZ, formed S&O, made 2011 album year-round. White saw singing talent in Jelly Roll, encouraged beyond rap. 2011, with Haystack, Strictly Business hit number 67 on Billboard R&B Hip Hop. 2013, No Filter with White reached number 17 on rap albums. 2017, with Struggle Jennings, Waylon's grandson, Waylon and Willie mixed country rap. Success led to 3 more parts. Added singing, but hesitant. May 2020, wrote Save Me, posted fast on YouTube. No rap, just voice and emotions on hopelessness. Fans related. Execs saw country hit. Shifted career. November 9th, 2021, Grand Ole Opry debut. July 2022, with Craig Morgan there. Rock single Dead Man Walking number 1 on rock radio. January 2023, country single Son of a Sinner number 1 on country radio. Co-wrote with Ernest David Ray Stevens, hit Hot Rock chart. Record 25 weeks number 1 on emerging artists. December 2022, sold out Bridgestone Arena, 15,000 fans. Guests, Chris Young, Sam Hunt, Riley Green, Struggle Jennings, Tech N9, Chris Calico. 2023, 44-city Backroad Baptism Tour. Won 3 CMT Awards for Son of a Sinner. June 9th album, Whitsitt Chapel with Need a Favor. November, CMA New Artist of Year. Beyond Music, January 2024, testified Congress for anti-drug laws, from experience. April 2024, sued by band Jelly Roll over trademark, settled. June 2024, in Rebel Country Doc, opened with arrest reenactment. July, Eminem sampled Save Me on Somebody Save Me, video appearance. July 2024, first international show, Ontario, Canada. October, 10th album, Beautifully Broken. September 2024, acted in Tulsa King with Stallone, sang I Am Not Okay. September, first musical guest, SNL 50th season, Liar and Winning Streak. Later SNL 50 concert, Johnny Cash medley with Roots, joined Snoop Dogg. November, Run It for Sonic 3 soundtrack, December video, 2025, with Brandon Lake on Hard Fought Hallelujah, 1K Love Song of Year. April on Shabuzi's Amen. August, with Marshmello on Holy Water. From van life and YouTube to arenas and awards, Jelly Roll turned pain into music touching millions. Crossed rap, rock, country, gospel, carrying his story. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe. Also, click the next video on your screen.